Hello, everyone. How's everybody doing? Good? So on a scale from 1 to 10, how weird does it feel to be in a setting like this with like all of your colleagues and stuff? It's literally the first time I'm hosting anything, and it felt so weird to be in hair and makeup. But to be honest, it feels so good to be here with you today at our Anchor 2020 jury and nominee announcement. My name is Hadna Tesfa, and I've been with Anchor for 2 years in a row now. But to be honest with you, this is the first time I actually get to do what we're doing right now. This is the first time I'm actually allowed to guide you through our jury announcement, because usually that would have taken place already back in June in New York at the A2IM as part of Reeperbahn, as part of the Reeperbahn International event, which is also supported by the Federal Foreign Office of Germany. But nothing is normal in 2020. We're in the midst of a global pandemic, and Corona wouldn't let us. So now we are here at this special event. And not only will I announce the jury to you, but also the nominees, as I already said, for the Anchor 2020. So in case you do not know what the Anchor 2020 is, I have someone who can explain it very well, because he is the inventor of the Anchor, and he is also the founder and the director of Reeperbahn Festival. Please welcome Alexander Schulz.
Hi everybody. Hello Hadnet, thank you for having me here. As you all might know, the event Reeperbahn Festival will take place in September, between September 16 and 19. It's going to take place on site and online. As people say, it's a kind of hybrid event. We are here today at the Festsaal in Kreuzberg with our small Reeperbahn Festival International Edition, being connected with the music industry in Beijing and in the US, in cooperation with the Music Biz USA as well. And there's, again, 50 music business people on site here in this lovely venue. And one could say this is a little test for the main event in September. Thanks, as you just said, to the Federal Foreign Office to follow us with all these tests. And and this slot within the 2 days is reserved for presenting the Anchor nominees 2020 and the judges of our music contest. Thanks, by the way, here to the Federal Foreign Office again, and to the Minister of State for Culture and the Media, Monika Grütters, who supports us in doing a very special edition of our contest. For those among you who never had the chance to follow one of our Anchor editions, I should explain what the contest is about in a few words. Normally we announce the Anchor judges in our New York edition, but as for so many other things, we had to come up with a different plan this year. The Anchor Reeperbahn Festival International Music Award is our own accolade for the most promising emerging musician playing Reeperbahn Festival, and we established the contest in 2016. It's going to be awarded every year in our main event in Hamburg, and it's a guide, that's important to know, for the fans and the music industry as well. And at the same time, a jump start for the nominated artists' careers. The Anchor is designed to become a label of excellence for the participating artists. It's 6 international nominees from different genres this year, selected by a board of music professionals. I can say this year there was 30 applications which were sent out to the board. Yes, and these nominees try to convince not just the audience, but also the prominent jury. Whereas other music awards acknowledge record sales or popularity, the anchor honors the unique music quality manifested in the live performance of the artist during Reeperbahn Festival. As we all experienced, this year's is so different in many ways, and so many things changed, but not the fact that the acts would perform live in September, all 6 nominees, and especially not the fact there is again going to be a very qualified and prominent jury for Anchor 2020, and we're very excited to present them right now, right here. Thank you very much.
Music is here to offer us emotion, to offer us a soundtrack to our life. Music is here to give, right?
This competition is for very serious musicians. It's a very prestigious award. It's an anchor.
It's just a great opportunity for bands to be highlighted.
People are already playing this festival. They're working musicians. They're getting themselves out there, and we go to their show.
It's fantastic exposure, and the news of the winner will go around the world.
Die Anchor-Jury besteht aus 6 alten Hasen und wir gucken uns Konzerte an und küren am Ende das beste Konzert, das wir gesehen haben.
We all have different tastes and styles and stuff like that. So I think if they can get past all of us, they got to be pretty special.
If I'm not thinking whilst I'm watching them and I'm just feeling, that's the winner to me.
Hopefully all agree which is our favourite one and receive their Anchor Award.
The winner is Albin Lee Meldau. Jade Bird. Tamino and Faces on TV. Alyona. It's not just winning a contest.
And awards like this can really make a difference in an artist's career.
It could change the life of an artist.
This is an incredible opportunity. Let's take it to another level.
All right, this really got me in the mood. Well done. That was I'm like, oh, I remember this. I remember that. Really nice. So, as you can see, we're here to celebrate an international music award. We're here to celebrate 5 years of it, half a decade. And he's been there for every single edition. He's our first juror, and we're going to talk to him directly in New York. Please give it up for our first juror and David Bowie producer, Tony Visconti in New York. Hey, Tony.
Hello.
Holding it down. How are you?
Oh, very well, thank you. It's a bit early here, but I'm well.
I was about to say it's really, really early where you are. Have you been up? Are you up? Are you with us? Or have you had your morning coffee and everything?
I've had 2 morning coffees. I feel really great now.
Great. Tony, this is your 5th year in a row being on the jury. What makes the Anchor so special to you?
It's a very exciting competition because people are from completely different genres. Like the winner of last year was Ukrainian rap. You can't get more exclusive than that. And, you know, competing, Alyona was competing with rock group, a cabaret singer and all that. It's fantastic to see the level of all the players. And of course, so far in the last 5 years, one great one rises to the surface. That to me is very exciting.
So let's talk about the current situation then, because you're in New York right now. We talked about that. Where are you staying right now?
Well, I'm in Lower Manhattan, which is near Wall Street, but I live in New York. I live about 2 kilometers north of where I am right now.
Good. I mean, we're going to talk about how you experienced and how you felt the last few months and what you and your friends have been going through and the whole city's been going through. We're going to talk about that later. For now, I want to thank you. You're going to stay with us. And I want to introduce our second juror to you guys. She's a 4-time Grammy Award-winning master engineer. Yes, let that marinate. Who's worked with incredible artists such as Johnny Cash, The Eagles, David Guetta, Tony Bennett, and Halloween. And she's here with us as well. She's also in New York right now. Please welcome Darcy Proper.
Hi, everybody.
Hey, Darcy. Good morning. So how are you feeling this morning?
I'm feeling fine, thanks. I've had my coffee too, so I'm good to go.
Good. This is the very first time that you've been part of any sort of jury activity. You've never been on a jury before. So what are you most excited about?
Initially, when I was invited, I was very excited about meeting these artists and my fellow judges in person in Hamburg. Hamburg is such a great musical city, and I was looking forward to seeing these performances with Hamburg creating this vibe and backdrop. COVID-19 put the damper on being there in person, but I'm still excited to see these performances and to collaborate with these judges in a new method, and New York City is not a bad place to be either.
Absolutely not. Thank you, Darcy, so much for right now. We're also going to talk to you and how you felt the last few months and weeks and how you experienced everything that's been going on in the States. For now, I want to introduce all of the journalists that are here right now to our third judge. And she's the front woman and the guitarist of the Distillers, Brody Dalle. But here's the thing, there's a 3-hour time difference between New York and LA where Brody lives. So, I mean, it's in the middle of the night for these two, but for her, it's like legit in the middle of the night. So we didn't want to wake her up, but she sent us a video message. Here is Brody.
Hi, I'm Brody Dalle from the Distillers. I'm really excited to be a part of this Anchor Festival. And I'm sorry I can't be there today in Berlin because COVID sucks. I'm so glad that the Digital Times help us make it possible, that we can still be judges and can chat about the bands. I can't wait to meet Darcy and Tony, and I can't wait to fly to New York. I hope you are having a wonderful day.
It's an absolute honor to have the three of you super fabulous judges here on stage, well, virtually at least, or digitally, let's put it that way. But also, I have some judges here that are actually going to be physically here with us today. And the first of them is a friend of mine, and I'm really excited, first of all, to see him here, and second of all, to be working with him in one way or the other. He's a great colleague of mine and of yours. Please welcome Markus Kavka.
Hello.
Hello. I don't know if your microphone's already turned on. Is it?
Is it?
Is it? It is. Now it is. So, Markus, apart from being a friend of mine, which I like to stress a lot, you're also an expert in this music business. What makes the Anchor as a competition, as an award that you can actually win as a young band, so special to you?
Well, I've been following the Anchor since it came out in 2016, and I discovered new talent every year. So even for me as a music journalist, that was so inspiring. And now being part of the board is even more exciting, because I like what the Anchor Award is about. Just the pure live performance, presence of the talent, charisma, no social media Shangri-La, no nothing that distracts you. And looking at the nominees and the winners of the last years, there were so many brilliant acts coming out, so I'm excited to be a judge this year.
Yeah, you've mentioned it, that, and it was something that we briefly talked about, Alex, before, is like the live performance. There's so much stress on the live performance because that's the one thing that you get judged on. And now now due to Corona and the COVID-19 situation, we actually do have to have some social media Shangri-La, right?
Yeah.
So here we are.
Stream, sure.
So does that change anything for you though?
Well, by looking at the audience now, it's going to be like that probably with the shows in Hamburg.
Yeah.
So I'm imagining being on stage and playing a concert and having that as a view might be awkward.
Yeah, it might be difficult for you as well, right?
But then again, maybe we can compare it to like the Champions League final tournament in Lisbon, where it just came down to the essence of football, and even Neymar was not rolling around like a slaughtered pig when he got fouled. So people are focusing on their performance, and I'm focusing on the fact whether this performance is moving me in a way.
Right.
So that's like the core. This is the essence of a live show, without anything distracting me. Plus, I'm a short guy, so I get to see the stage. Like there's always big guys standing in front of me, and I never get to see the stage. So I like the fact that there is a seated concert.
Nice. Let's see. I mean, it's going to be a lot of new things at the Anchor this year, but a few things are going to stay the same. And that's, for instance, that our jury always has 6 members, so there are 2 still missing. And the next one, I'm actually very, very happy to have him here, because we wouldn't have him here without Corona, let's be real, because they were scheduled to play a huge concert at the same time as Reeperbahn festivals taking place. But those concerts, sold out concerts, by the way, at Waldbühne, were canceled. So he has time now, and he's here with us. He's part of a fantastic band that you might have heard of. The name is Seed. His name is Frank Dellé.
Hallo Agnes.
Frank, let's do this. How are you, my dear?
I'm good. Actually, I'm good because I'm here with you and we're celebrating music these times.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah, I haven't done this in this form before, you know. As you know, our band, we don't actually do this. And that's why I think these times make us do things that we don't normally do. So I'm really looking forward to learn how it feels sitting in a, doing this and listening to people presenting their music as a band, live performance, and that's something that we can really feel, it's like for us so important, how do you present yourself? And now to sit there and look at others do that, it's amazing to see what's coming up.
The one thing that I love about Anchor juries is also how diverse they are in terms of like what people do. Right? You have producers, you have sound engineers, you have people that report about music, that write about it for a living or talk about it for a living, and then we have you who is actually performing for a living as well. So how does it feel for you to be part of a jury, basically judging colleagues, much younger colleagues, not much, because you're just about 25 or something, but newcomers, judging them. How's that going to work for you?
Actually, never felt fine. And when I was asked to do it, I said, no, I don't want to be in that position to judge, saying that was good, that wasn't good, that do this better. This type of, from some of the shows. So it was, first of all, it was like, then I looked at the website of the production and what the whole thing is about and how it's being presented. And it felt very professional and like people behind it really thinking about, okay, we don't want it to be that way I was just talking about. So actually my wife gave me another kick. She said, Frank, just do it. Try to go out of your comfort zone and try. And I couldn't sleep well this night because I thought, oh my God, I'm going to do something I've never done. And that's why you feel you live, you feel, and it's not about you, it's about them. don't think so much how will you know, it's about them. So actually, and this morning I came here and I met, for the first time since we've been on tour in November, like my tour manager and my lighting guy, and it was like, oh my God, it's, you know, we're doing something, and that felt very, very good. So at this point, I'm very positive that I just jumped into the cold water. Yeah.
Good. I'm loving the energy that you're bringing. Yes, you can clap for that. Whoever did. Go ahead, feel free, let it all out. That one person, come on, you can do it. So there's one seat still empty, and I have basically no words to describe how excited I am about the woman that'll join us on stage as our sixth juror. There's not much I have to say. I am not going to start listing all of her accolades because she's amazing. She's a flat-out superstar, and I am really, really happy that she's here. Please give it up for Melanie C. Melanie.
Hi. Thank you for that lovely introduction.
Was it? Was it happy? Was it like? Was it good? Was it enough? Because I was like, what am I going to say?
I enjoyed it greatly.
Okay, good. I'm very happy, and I'm actually very happy that you're here with us because we didn't know about the situation in England and what the situation is going to be like. So maybe you could give us a quick rundown of what it's been like for you.
I think in the UK we have had a very similar experience to you guys here in Germany. Right now there is safe travelling between our countries, thank goodness. You know, Germany is a very important country to me. I'm very lucky, you know, being part of the Spice Girls and a solo artist. I have the opportunity to be an international artist, and I think that's what's so hard right now. I love traveling, I love performing, I love being in rooms with people and sharing that energy and that experience, and I'm just so happy I can be here. And I think it's really important that we can still live through these uncertain times and still support the thing that we love. And we just have to adapt, don't we? And I think that's what's so exciting about us still being here. You know, the Reeperbahn Festival still happening, the Anchor Awards still taking place, and us just being very creative in how we move forward, because we don't know what the future holds. So I feel like we just need to do as much as we can to make the experience, of course it's going to be something different, but still be able to support these young artists who are coming through.
You're gonna do that as a member of a jury that's actually there to judge them.
Yes.
So what are you looking forward to about that jury duty in September?
Well, I have had a little experience in being a judge before, and I actually find it difficult being a judge. But I think, you know, just being a lover of music, that it's more about how these things, you know, affect you as a listener. I don't want to come to this as like some experienced person who knows everything. I just want to come to it as a music lover and as a supporter of young talent. And I just kind of want to come to it very open-minded, and very excited to experience new music, new artists from all over the world. And I think I'm trying to be really positive about where we're at and where the future is. And I think the great thing about the festival this year being online is that it can reach so many more people, you know? So that's something that I'm, you know, really excited about.
And I'm pretty sure that the people performing will also be very, very excited, because this is actually kind of new. Usually they would play in front of like you guys and 200 other people. So now they're kind of like performing for the world. And let's see how that's gonna go. Do you guys want to meet the nominees? Yes. Okay, cool. There's 6 up-and-coming acts playing at the Reeperbahn Festival this year, and they actually made it against 25 other applicants. And here are the nominees for this year. Please look yourself. right. What do you think? Edna, Leclerc, Aria Zappa, Suzanne Tuva Band. One of the 6 nominees that you just saw can be seen tomorrow, right? You can already check them out in the live stream because Edna is going to be part of the showcase, which will be live on YouTube and Facebook from 6:30 tomorrow night. Just a quick disclaimer, when they were chosen to play the showcase act, the nominees were not fixed yet. So they had that before, but before they were admitted to be part of Anchor. Just a full disclaimer. So, Tony, back to you in New York. Will you watch Etna tomorrow, or do you want to concentrate on the show that they're going to play at the Reeperbahn Festival in September? What are you going to do? You going to check them out?
I'm going to check them out. I'm going to watch tomorrow.
Right, but you don't want to save the experience for September and just like watch them with fresh eyes? What would you recommend the other jury members do?
I would like to learn about the nominees as soon as possible, personally. It's very hard to make a decision at the very last minute. It's too overwhelming, in fact. So this is my preference.
True. All right. So to all of you, jury members, this is the first time you're seeing each other now in this setting. But just some of you already know each other? Have you met before? Have you even worked together? This is also going to the peeps in New York.
Yeah, we did. that was long ago when I still worked for Viva, I think.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, and we met a couple times.
Yeah, right.
During interviews.
And then once we did where Ray Garvey and you did the thing with the bands too.
We did workshop for newcomer bands, right?
Yeah, that was also very interesting. So
you can tell we're all of a certain age because we're going. I think I worked with you, and it was the
well, time is moving on.
I know. I've met Tony last year, but Darcy and Tony, do you guys know each other? Because you're not too far from each other, right?
Oh, we're quite far from each other.
We are, yeah. Yeah, I'm located about 4 hours away from the city.
Oh my God! Okay.
Yeah, I will be in New York City for the show, but where I live is a good distance away from the city.
Yes, but Darcy and I have communicated. We know a lot about each other now.
Yeah, we've had some lovely conversations.
All right. This sounds very interesting. I'm like, you've had conversations about what exactly? Okay.
Music.
Yeah.
Actually,
music, yeah.
Those both. They are judging from one place in New York in September. That's the idea behind. That's maybe the reason why they're in so deep and intensive contact.
Okay, yeah. Brody, Darcy, and Tony, you're going to be together in New York watching the performances together, right?
Yes, we are.
Right.
All right, okay. It's going to be very interesting. because
I know that man on the couch very well, Alex Schultz.
Hello, Tony.
Hello, Alex.
How about we extend our little talking round a bit further. And I'm pleased that Carsten Broder, he's the Minister of Culture and Media of the Free and Hanseatic City of Hamburg, is with us, and Portia Sabin as well, President of Music Business Association, and both of them have found the time to talk to us about their view and their perspective on the current situation, and they should be with us as well. Carsten Broder and Portia Sabin, I think they should. Are they? Somebody give me a sign. Yes, they are. Welcome. Hi, everyone.
Hi.
Hello, nice to check. Carsten Broder, just to check in with you, where are you right now?
I'm sitting in my office in Hamburg at the moment.
All right. And Portia, where are you right now?
I'm in Nashville, Tennessee.
All right. That we got. Hello, Nashville. What time is it where you are, Portia?
It's 8:42 a.m.
All right. Good morning, then. You look fresh and brand new. I like that. So, Mr. Broda, how have you been feeling in Hamburg, which is not too far for everyone who doesn't know where Hamburg is from Berlin? It's like an hour and a half or 2 hour drive. So, Mr. Broda, how have the last few months been for you personally and the cultural scene in these times of Corona in Hamburg?
Well, that's a tough question. I mean, actually, those were tough times, and they still are. I mean, we first had the time of the lockdown where no cultural activity was possible at all, and I think those were dire times for everybody who was into the business of meeting people, bringing people together, and presenting them with artistic experiences. And right now, we are really working hard on making cultural experiences possible again. And so I think that having the Reeperbahn Festival in September live on stage, as well as in the digital realm, is really an important sign that there is music activity possible at this time. I'm very glad that the federal government supports us as the Free and Hanseatic City in our efforts in showing what is already possible in the music scene, and the cultural scene, and the art scene, because I think the main theme for me over the course of the last month is that we all experienced how much we need music, how much we need the arts, how much we need culture in our lives, and that we just can't stand as human beings being separated from each other and not having these kinds of experiences. So it's really about time to meet again live and in real life and experience art and music. And I'm very much looking forward to that.
Portia, well, to go directly to you, because you just said you're in Nashville, Tennessee, which is a very, very musical city. It's a city that kind of like breathes and lives music. So you going through it right now with the pandemic, what are the differences that you see between the U.S. and Germany? Also hearing what Mr. Broda has just said, where do you see the differences?
Well, it's a sad situation. We do not have a national policy in place to handle this pandemic, and it's been left up to the states to decide. So Tony and Darcy are in a better situation than I find myself in Tennessee. There are still people in this country who are not taking this seriously, and it's making it harder for all the rest of us. So I think in Germany and in the UK, you guys are doing a much better job in terms of showing the rest of the world how we might be handling this a little bit better.
How has the cultural scene in Nashville been holding up, though?
Well, you can't keep artists down. So that's the positive news. Never can. And the sad part is, of course, our venues are closed. Really, there can't be any live music, and there won't be for a long time. But, I think everyone is continuing to work in their homes. People are recording in studios, safely. You can never keep music down.
So the question goes to both you, Portia, and Mr. Broda. I think you've already touched on it a little bit, Mr. Broda, talking about the importance of music, but I kind of would want you to elaborate on that a little bit. What's the contribution that the culture, music, arts in general can make to social cohesion, to a social construct as the society is, and what role do events like Anchor and the Reeperbahn Festival in general play here? What do you guys think?
Well, first of all, they bring people together, and I think that this is something that is really important. And second of all, they give us inspiration and sometimes irritation. Anyhow, something to talk about. And this having something to talk about actually is what makes a society. And I mean, in Germany, for example, the states are in charge of the way that we are dealing with Corona as well. It's not the federal government. Actually, at the moment, the prime ministers of the states are joining with the federal chancellor, talking about just how to deal with the pandemic. And it's all a big discussion. And I think that we have to be able as a society to have that discussion and to lead that discussion to reasonable outcomes. That is what brings us to dire times like this. Coming together, talking about what is necessary, and then doing it together. And the arts and the culture often show us what kind of diversity we have in our societies and how we can deal with that diversity and make it a strength and not a weakness. And I think that this is something that we will experience once again in competitions like the Anchor, because we see the artistic diversity, which is just a part of our social diversity that we have to live as something that makes us stronger and makes us better and leads to a better society.
Portia, do you have anything to add to that?
Well, I think, the importance of a competition like Anchor is just really timely. We are living, I think Mel C said it right before, that this is a global time for music. What's so fabulous about, the promise of the internet is that it's been able to bring people together in a way that we couldn't do in the past as well. And it's been able to bring music from all over the world to people in different places. And I think that is why we need a competition like this, so that we can have, a filter for the excellence that's around the globe, and then be able to shine a spotlight on people from different places. I went and checked out the winners, the past winners of the Anchor Award, and I was so blown away by last year's winner. And I thought I would never have listened to a Ukrainian hip hop artist if it wasn't for Anchor, and she was just fantastic. So thank you for that.
You're very welcome, though I didn't have anything to do with it, but you're very welcome. So, Tony, while Portia in Nashville is going through the thick of it, you guys have basically already been there, right? New York was hit very, very hard earlier this year. So how have the last few months been for you personally?
Just before the lockdown began, I was in the UK. I was in London doing shows in my band. And I apparently brought COVID-19 back with me because I got very ill immediately upon landing in New York. And I thought it was the worst jet lag in the world. I was in denial. I didn't even want to admit I might be sick with C-19. But it wasn't bad. It lasted about 3 or 4 days. And I only found out 3 weeks ago, I had an annual checkup. I only found out that I had tested positive for the antibodies. So, survivor here. I'm a survivor on that level. But sadly, I saw the city empty at first, because from March, the exodus began. People were going upstate New York to go to their summer homes prematurely, and other people were going back to where their parents lived in other states. So at one point, New York became a ghost town. And then I decided that there's so few people in the streets, and nobody's using my recording studio, which is about 2 kilometers away, that I started to walk to work every day, fully masked, rubber gloves on, and I wasn't inconvenienced after that point. I was working, had mixing jobs. I'm working on my own solo album. So I took a bad thing and I turned it into a positive for myself.
So glad you were able to do that. Darcy, I know you have kids, and I think that the situation is very, very different when you're on lockdown with kids and family. How did you balance that? How difficult was that to sort of like deal with everybody being home all the time and actually trying to be productive at the same time? How was that for you?
Well, I have one son who's 10 years old and a very active young man. So it has been challenging. And COVID-19 hasn't made life easy for anyone, for sure. But I think we were fairly fortunate. My husband, Ronald, is also an audio engineer. And our colleagues at Valhalla Studios graciously agreed to work from home so that we could have the studio to ourselves. So we were able to bring our son with us to the studio and we could continue working, and Liam, our son, could be here with us. He became a bit of a houseplant in the corner of the studio every day. But we were as isolated in the studio as we were at home. So we were able to keep functioning on a certain level. But then, of course, there are the challenges of homeschooling and trying to function as a professional simultaneously. And I think we won't go into those miseries here, but I can say there were a lot of tears on both sides, Liam and myself. And I'll be really glad to, it's given me a new appreciation for people who choose teaching as a profession, because they have a talent in that department that apparently I don't have.
You're not the only one. You're not the only one, Darcy. Don't worry. We all failed, but it's fine. We all failed. So I mean, I just said it with you, Frank. You were supposed to perform at the same time. You were scheduled to perform at the same time as Reeperbahn Festival has taken place. And that's been canceled. So how have the last few months been for you? How have you been
Actually,
feeling?
the last year till November, we had a big tour in Germany, Austria, around the place. And it was a special tour, and so far that we had lost one of our front singers. Over the last 20 years, we've been together, and this was a new situation where we never knew, are we going to do it? Are we going to go on? Are we going to stop it or whatever? So we did it, and we managed to make a lot of people happy and find a solution of being able to play, although this person who has been accompanying us for all this time has gone. So I think everybody can imagine we played with different friends or musicians over the years. So it was very special. So we were at the position of, saying, okay, we did it. And this New Year's concert, actually festivals, would have been like the reward. On tour, it's you, and you go with the bus, and it's like work. And it was all the psychological. So this is like, you go and look at other bands perform. You go to, it's not only like you, but festival is always the reward, the summer. So it was more like oh my God, so now we're not going to get the cherry of that, But you cannot tell anybody, because people really had problems. And this is not a real problem. So but it's your problem. So now being also at home with I also have 2 kids, and we have a house, and we have place. The kids never had any fear that COVID is going to get them. They felt like immune. So it was, we got to protect mama and grandma, but nothing's going to happen to us, which was fine, because I never felt my kids are in fear. So and in Germany, we never had a real lockdown. So compared to the news we had from Italy, from Spain, from England, from America, it was all the news coming to the media, but the real fear I had was, how are the people going to react? I was more afraid of the reaction of the people than the virus, actually. If you ask me the question, how did you feel? I thought, okay, so this little thing of civilization, if you pull it, you raise up the hood and everybody goes mad. You know how they're all running for the toilet paper, whatever. So that was what I could observe in our situation. And I guess, and it's so emotional to how everybody experiences it. You have to respect somebody who's really afraid, and then you have to respect somebody who says, but I'm not, So it was more the dealing with that. And then everybody tells you as a musician, but you have time to make a new album, but you don't feel like doing a new album. So you feel like you have a bad conscience because you're not doing a new album. So it was all this emotional mixture between all that. And I have to say, on the other hand, I thought, okay, in our field, if you do the restriction for a whole year and everything is postponed, everybody will go crazy. We will love to do our job even more than. So it wasn't like a fear. As soon as we'd earned a little bit of money so we could survive. So the only fear you really have was, okay, is the crew gonna survive? How long are they gonna hold on so that they'll still be there if we go back on the tour? And now we're in the situation where we don't know, is it gonna happen next summer or not? So it's a special situation where we're all going through together.
I feel like we're in a big experiment with Reeperbahn Festival as well, kind of like looking like this is a lab situation where everybody's like, is this going to work? Is the concept going to work? You know, so this is really going to be interesting to see. I want to ask you this question as well, how you've experienced the last few weeks, and then we're going to pass the mic to you guys so you can also ask your questions. All right, so start thinking of one if you haven't already done that. But how has it been for you? Because I feel like for not only, I don't know, I think people are aware of this. You're not only a journalist, but you're also a DJ, right? You play music, you perform in clubs, and with clubs closing down and club culture also really being hit hard and really suffering, how have the last few weeks been for you?
Well, I was blessed since 2-3 of my jobs were not really affected by it. I could do my radio show at home. I could do my television things outdoors or at home. So I was blessed in that way. But the DJ thing, as you said, is completely gone. But most of my friends are DJs or they're running a club in Berlin, and they are like completely screwed. And it's so sad to see that there is really they could use more support. The club scene in Berlin and the event scene in Berlin, everywhere basically. So me and my friends are fighting for that. See how is it working out.
Yeah, I guess everybody could use a little help right now. That's the thing, right? Everybody could. So yeah, as I said, questions are up to you now. Would you please get up and introduce yourself? Do we have a microphone for her, or will she just have to speak up? There you go. There's a microphone coming. Please introduce yourself and your media outlet, please.
Hi, my name is Caroline. I'm with the German press agency DPA, and I have a question for Mel C. So I'm wondering, how do you feel about being in a live concert among other people? Are you scared? That's the first question. And the second question is, can you tell us a little about your musical plans and the whereabouts of the Spice Girls?
Thank you, Caroline.
Lots of questions in one there. Cheeky. I'm really trying to be optimistic, but I think, like Frank was saying, you really have to respect how others feel. You know, we all have different different levels of whether we feel fearful or confident for whatever the future holds. Personally, of course, I want to be safe. I want my fans to be safe. But I do want to stay connected. I think for me, this time has really shown me the benefits of social media, something that I, in the past, have had a bit of a love-hate relationship, but it's really helped me stay connected to not only friends and family, but fans too. I do have a new album out in October, so I've been really busy throughout lockdown in the UK. I have a 11-year-old daughter, so failing at homeschooling and trying to promote my new work and perform in this strange time, doing live streams and things on all the different platforms. Spice Girls have been in touch. We've been staying in contact with each other. We even managed to get together, all 5 of us, which is quite miraculous. Nobody had the excuse of being away. We were all at home. So we got together really just to catch up and check in with each other. But we do talk about future plans, and we'd love, beyond everything going on, and of course we hope and pray that 2021 sees all of the concerts that didn't happen this summer, but beyond that, we would love Spice Girls to get back out on the road again, but it will be a couple of years, I'm sure, before that happens.
But I'm pretty sure this will make everyone happy. It sure did make me happy just right now. I'm like, that's okay, there's a possibility, that's fine, I'll take that. Anyone else got a question for anyone? Have we answered all of your questions?
Hi, this is a question really for anyone who'd like to take it. I sort of think in a situation where all the usual patterns fall away because something bad has happened and the normal structures aren't there, you have to go back to first principles. You have to kind of go back inside yourself and wonder what you're doing and why you're doing it and how you can reinterpret it for a new context. So From a music point of view, what would your advice be to the nominees for the award in terms of how they go back to first principles for this competition and this performance? If they're going to be performing in a different environment, how should they do that? What should be in their minds and their hearts?
Would you tell us your name real quick?
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Yeah, I'm Sarah Williams. I'm from an organisation called Impel.
Thank you, Sarah. That was a very good question.
Good question.
Yeah.
I think, being an artist and trying to entertain people through these times, I think, for us as judges as well, it's going to be such a different experience, because I feel as an audience member, often you don't really truly understand a band or an artist until you've seen them live. That kind of really is the essence of who they are. Sometimes somebody you don't really, or you've never listened to on a record, you see them in a live context, like maybe at a festival, and you just totally get it and you become their biggest fan. So I think it's going to be very different this year, and I wonder whether the person who becomes the winner would have been the same person if we'd been doing it as it's been done traditionally year after year. So I think as an artist, all you can do in any environment, in any situation, is be who you are, is be your true self, and just express and emote the way you know how. And I think that's going to be the thing that is going to really come across, whether you're in a live environment or whether it's you're watching it online at home. So that would always be my advice to any artist.
For me, like 3 weeks ago, I was hosting a big streaming festival, heavy metal festival, Wacken Worldwide. It was a worldwide stream, and we had 7 bands performing on a mixed reality LED virtual stage. And I asked the bands how they feel to play in an environment like that. There were just 10 technicians in the audience and the road crew, basically 14, 15 people. And they said, it's going to be a mindset like with our very, very first club show. 10 people attending, and we try to win them over. So it might be similar in Hamburg, that you come back to the start of your career and you just be yourself and don't care too much about missing people.
Hello? Yeah, I think that not being in the business or playing for so long is a big advantage. It's like being a child. I think the older we get and the more experience we have, the more it also, how do you say, it holds us down, because we compare all the time. That's so good if you have a band where you have people who are 50 and then you have people who are 18 and they're in the same band, because you think about things differently at different life stage. So I think that young people, I think the nature has set it that way, that you take the situation and you make something out of it. That energy is still so big. We think too much. I know, like we've thought about, okay, what can we do? All these in the cars and then the carpet festival. And no. Everywhere, 11 people, it's no. It's like 10 people say no. And one person says yes, but we might. You say no. And I think in a band where you're like 18 to 25 or even younger, this no doesn't come so quickly. Maybe the energy that is there, but it doesn't say no. And that's my hope, or also my advice for those people who feel that let's just do something. It is our chance, That's what makes it also so interesting for me to see that, because I remember when I was like that. And then I see these guys in this mixture of being afraid and being nervous, and okay, this is our chance. And that gives us the injection of youth back, because that's the kids are our hope. Let me say it that way. There's a crocodile in the river now, and we got to learn to deal with it. Everybody in 5 years we'll know how to deal with it. But now it's this special situation, and it's a chance.
Yeah, I love that answer, Frank. And I would like to actually also ask Tony again, as someone who was able to work creatively and tap into his creativity during this really difficult and problematic times, what would your advice be for younger acts, how to deal with this situation, what to do, what to get out of it, you know, as someone who was able to actually get something out of it as well?
Well, you couldn't have a better time to woodshed and be very serious about making your performance and your songwriting skills better. This is a good opportunity. You're locked down. I mean, instead of playing video games, get that guitar out, practice your scales, write. It's a great opportunity. Very few distractions if you're locked down, truly locked down. So, I mean, that's the way I've used this lockdown. You know, just didn't sit idle. I worked through it.
Thank you. Anyone else got a question? Please don't be shy. There you go. Also introduce yourself, please, yeah?
Hello. Antonio is my name. I would like just to know about what are you specifically looking for in the performances that you're going to see from each of these bands are going to play at for the Anchor Award. What is exactly what you look for, each of you? Thank you.
All the nominees at home taking notes now.
Oh my God. Really, somebody said it before in one of the videos. It's not what you expect, but what you feel. It sounds like a general answer, but I mean, we are all just this emotional beings. And if you're touched by somebody who talks about what he loves and the eyes glow, I don't know how to say it, then you're touched. We're also so simple. You know, we cry at movies at parts where we say, I know how he did that, but it worked. So we're so simple. And if somebody's able to do that with his type of music, his lyrics, or his saying a word at the right, we don't know. I think that's the adventure. I'm just going on to this new adventure, and I'm really already realizing that I'm having fun, although I was afraid this morning. Yeah.
All right, tell them, what are you looking for?
What am I looking for? Yeah, I'm not looking for specifics. I love all genres of music, and the thing I love about music that I've experienced through my own career is it's like an international language, you know. So obviously there are performers who I only speak English. Of course, I'm English, and we're lazy, and we don't learn any other languages. But I think sometimes it doesn't matter, you know, whatever language is being sung or spoken, it's something that touches you emotionally. And I think it'll just be something that I feel a real connection to and feel very excited by.
I'd like to
Darcy, go ahead, Tony, go ahead.
Can I just add that the live performance is going to make a big difference, because when I first saw a video of Alyona, you know, she was singing in Ukrainian, and like Mel C said, I don't know a single word in Ukrainian, and very few other languages either. But when she performed, she had a spirit that was like fire. And I didn't have to know any words in her language. She portrayed something a lot deeper from inside her. She drew it out, and all of us as one, connected with her. And it didn't matter that she wasn't singing in English. So seeing the nominees tomorrow will take me up to a certain level, but when I see them live, I will know for sure what they do on stage resonates within me.
I mean, I wanted to ask Darcy how she's going to deal with this challenge of not being in the room with the band or the person performing. How are you going to deal with that? What does that like mean? Does it going to change the way you watch the performance? Or you mentally prepared to kind of like always keep that in mind, and you know, what's it going to do to you?
I think, of course, it would be more desirable to be able to be there in person. But I think the fact that we three judges in the U.S. will be together, that will give us a little bit of a feeling of camaraderie and humanity around us. And to be honest, I'm accustomed as a mastering engineer to evaluating recorded material. So I'm used to being in the studio and listening in the studio. And when I'm listening in the studio and doing my work, I'm always trying to find the thing that connects me to the emotion in the performance, in most cases, a recorded performance. I think it's going to be relatively easy to translate that focus that I have for doing that to focusing on the energy and the emotion that the live performance is conveying. And I think that's really the most important thing that I'm looking for. I think the other judges have pretty much said the same thing. Do you feel that connection? Do you feel the emotion? Do you get that energy? And if I could give a little piece of advice to the artists, I'm not looking for perfection. I'm looking for that energy. I'm looking for them to be themselves. And sometimes in music, we think that we're aiming for perfection, but sometimes the beauty is in the imperfections. You know, if something unexpected happens, it doesn't mean that all is lost. It's how you handle it, it's how you move on, and how you let us know who you are that is really going to let me know who's the outstanding performer in this crowd of very talented artists.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is why Darcy Proper wins awards and shit. Thank you so much for that answer, Darcy. And I'm pretty sure that, are there any more questions? Because if not, then we'd wrap it up. Anyone? You good? All right. Well, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much, Alex. Thank you so much, Frank. Thank you so much, Portia, for being here as well. Say hi to your cat that just made an appearance. Thank you so much for being here, Melanie. Thank you so much, Tony, Darcy, Dr. Carsten Broster. Dankeschön. And thank you so much, mein lieber Markus. Dankeschön. Thank you so much for being here, and hope to see you in September in Hamburg. All healthy. Thank you.